Hi, guys. So good to see you. Uncle Doug is here
Hello.
too. Your favorite warehouse crew. See how I didn't say warehouse and design? Because design's going to be your favorite design crew. Warehouse is going to be your favorite warehouse crew. But it's so good to see you guys. It's a bit chilly outside today. Looks like Peggy's in here. Joanne, Lynn. Hi, everybody. I'm going to make sure I get this up. Hold on. Hi, Kimmy and Sherry. And Lynn, it's so good to see you guys. But we have quite a few things to go through today. Everything's generally pretty easy. You don't ever have to be afraid of the things that I put together because it's not super complicated and it's something that everybody can do, if you know what I mean. Hi, Glenna. So good to see everybody. Before we get started, I'm going to pop up the warehouse special for today. Make sure I get a good view on this for you guys. And then we'll briefly go over these. I think there's only 6 left from the ladies that started shopping this morning when it went up. There we go. That's probably a pretty good view. So the warehouse special is only $28 today. It retails for around $63, I believe, is what I had calculated out to be. But we have this really pretty solid brass curb chain bracelet. This is 8-inch, so this is included. All of the measurements and specifications are in vintageliveshop.com, which you'll see there at the bottom of the screen. Liveshop@vintage.com is the Idaho email, so for our design team. And then if you want to contact us here at the warehouse, it'll be warehouse@vintage.com. Hi, Cheryl and Monica. So good to see you guys. But we're starting off with the warehouse special today. So if you're new here, hi Cookie, and you haven't ordered from us before, all you need to do, one, you can go to vintageliveshop.com down there at the bottom of the screen for all the pre-orders or during the live, and you can make your purchases there. Or in the comments, if you type what I have in parentheses up here, so just cart 100, it will prompt your messenger app to start creating a cart for you, so you can pick out your quantities, colors, so on and so forth, straight from your messenger app. So we like to keep it super easy, so you can do it either way, straight from their website or directly here in the comments. So we just showed off this solid brass bracelet. This is an 8-inch bracelet. I do really adore the chain. And then we have 24 inches of this natural brass chain. This is CH0016. This is a really pretty cable chain. It is natural brass, so you get 2 feet of that. You get one of these delicate hearts. How cute is that? Jean just said she picked up 2 of these, so I'm going to pop up her comment there on screen. See if we can get a good. This is the Mercury head coin. You get 3 pieces of that. 4 pieces of this pyramid. That's super adorable. A queen bee. This is a 3-way connector. You get 2 of these demi circlets here. These are artisan pewter. 2 of these diamond connectors, natural brass. These are also some diamonds. There are 2 of these in this pack. It's harder for me to get them separated, but there you go. You can see 2 of them there. Those are super unique. Then we have a couple birds. One's a 2-way connector and one is just a charm. We have this botanical coin here. Natural brass as well. Get 3 pieces of that. And then these super cute teensy keys and hearts. So you get 2 pieces of the key and 2 pieces of the heart there. So it's a super duper cute little selection full of a bunch of tinies. So pick those up before they're gone. I probably wouldn't be too much longer before they're gone, to be honest. There's only 3 left, so make sure you hop on this offering. It's such a good offering. Looks like Candy's in here too. Hi, Candy. I think I've said hi to everybody so far, at least that have commented. And then I didn't forget about our little drawing thing. So I have a selection of that. I thought about that right before we started here.
Let's spread that out. Sure.
I know it. So cart 100 for the warehouse special. Yeah, there's only 3 left, you guys. So you guys are going to want to pick that up. The carted items, I usually have like the least amount that I can do. I really try and make the most that I can. But if I only have 7, carted things of 1 item less, then I can only do 7 of the combined packs. So there's probably only going to be 1 left here very shortly. Because I think another couple people commented. So there's 2 left now. I'm sure once somebody else checks out, that'll be back down to 1. So make sure you pick up that Warehouse Daily Special. I'm going to take that off screen now. And a couple weeks ago, we started a new thing where if you love it and or share it, you will be entered into a little drawing. And then that drawing gets you this whole little splurge of findings here, and stampings, castings, some beads. There's a whole bunch of different things in there. Looks like Glenna got her warehouse special.
Don't forget to love it.
Yes, yeah. So you need to love the live. At least have it loved by the end of the live, because we do the drawing at the end of the live. You don't have to be present to win, as long as you have loved it. But I will say you do have to make a purchase to get it. I think that's something that we're going to do, because I don't think I got the address from the last lady who won. And I couldn't directly message her because her Facebook wouldn't let me. So I was like, okay, you missed out. Sorry.
Maybe we should do both of them today then. Redo it.
Oh, yeah, we could do 2.
Yeah, we could do 2. The one that from last week we'll offer it up. We know most of the gals on here were on last time too, so they'll be entered it. So we'll have 2 winners.
We'll do 2 winners.
2 winners today.
That sounds good. So make sure you love the live by the end of the live. There will be 2 winners since the last lady didn't send her information. Actually, let me go grab that quick. That is in my office. Whoa, Speedy!
Jean says I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, it's random.
Yeah, it's randomized. So we'll
Jean,
do 2.
You might take it, Jean.
Yeah, seriously. So keep loving the lives, things like that. So you'll be entered as long as it's loved by the end of the live here today. And we'll do 2 drawings, but we'll dump out this one first. Actually, I think I put that mat thing in the other room. Oh, we'll just use this one. I was wondering where my mats were.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a smaller one too, I think, than the other one. Alright, so we'll dump out the one from last week first.
And you know what? Why don't we do that one early? There's fewer on, and there's greater chances for those early comers to win on this one.
How about the one, if they don't claim it, then we'll do the first ones. We'll get the opportunity to get this one. So we'll do a drawing right now.
Yep, well, there's fewer on.
And then we'll do the other drawing at the end. So.
Monica, love just for extra measure.
Good. So we'll do a drawing right now very quickly with all of the hearts that are on the live. And then if you were on here last live, you got to see what there was. So you just get a randomized scoop from our mystery bin.
The loves are coming in.
Okay. So here's that. Since this wasn't claimed last week, we're going to do this quickly here. We're going to refresh it.
Magic here.
All right. Looks like we have 20. Chris, you have the other one. It's got to be the heart. So maybe you'll be there at the end. But, who was that? Chris Nee? Chris Nee, maybe?
Hurry up, Chris. Put love on there.
Yeah, we're gonna
refresh
it one more time. And then we'll go from there. So, looks like we're still there. So we'll do the 19 participants here for this. So Uncle Doug's gonna close his eyes, and I'm gonna go woo woo woo, and he's gonna point, and then we'll figure it out.
Stop.
Debbie Buckley. Debbie, you got this little beautiful thing. So make sure you have at least one item purchased today, because I want to make sure that we have everybody's shipping information, if you're not around. So we might need a Sharpie for this one.
We'll handle that.
And then we'll just scratch off Kathleen's name because she didn't claim it last week. Alright, so I'm trying to get this all dumped in the bag here. That did pretty good. So Debbie Buckley. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gets this first free dive, I think is what the Idaho team is calling their little cute things. So, Debbie Buckley, make sure you have something purchased for today, and then we will send this with your order, and then we'll show you what the next one is. And then this one will be drawn at the end of the live. So I'll just flip over a couple of these pieces here so you can gauge a better idea. So this is what we are doing for the end of this live's giveaway. So make sure you have it hearted by the end of the live, and then you will be entered into our little giveaway. Little, with a big old wink. This is a pretty big, it's like one of our whole scoops. So, which we usually say that you have to pay $100 for, but we're doing one free. So we will put that off to the side, and then we'll do a drawing at the end for that one. So how exciting is that? I love it, and it helps push our video out and helps us get to more people that could use some inspiration and some good old technique learning. So, wowzers. Beautiful, right? So fun. So I'm glad that we started doing that for you guys. We are going to hop into the sale portion now. So I'm going to pop up probably our filigree pack. And actually, we'll wait for that one. We'll do our fairy heart pack first, I think. I like to keep the better of the demos for the end of the lives. All right. So I'm going to bring this down. Hopefully it focuses. Cool beans. Flip this back over. So this is our fairy heart pack, you guys. This is a Green Girl Studios piece. This is cast with a bronze or brass antique. It's a little mixture of both, because you can tell that some of it's a little darker and some of it's a little lighter. But that is plated with the antique bronze, antique brass. And then we'll pull up these that we had made for it. I was like, something just landed on me, and I hoped it wasn't a stink bug. Thankfully, it wasn't. It was just one of my feather pieces. No, I told the ladies in the Messenger app that the other day I was sitting at my desk, and I heard a stink bug flying around and hit something on my desk, but I couldn't find it. I heard it go bzzz. And I'm like, oh my gosh!
It's in my hoodie.
Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So these are super cute. Front and or back is a super pretty floral pattern that covers the whole heart. And then front or back, you can use it either direction, is this cute pixie fairy. How adorable is that? I know we've been super into the fairy pixie groove lately, so I thought these would be ideal or perfect for our theme that we've been running lately. Cynthia is very, very, very talented. I love all of the things that she has designed and came up with. All I did for these earrings is punch 2 holes on the bottom, and then I jump ringed them together so the fairy would be standing on top of the floral pattern that we have down here. These are super adorable. You can use them as other charms. You could leave it just like this and have just the pixie side for the earring, or just the floral side as well. So you can have some short ones, or you can have some nice long earrings. So I thought these were super duper cute. Let me make sure. Usually I have the pieces here. Let me borrow this.
you got 5 devices.
I only have one. I know. Okay, 5 pieces for $22. Okay, you can have the mouse back.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Peggy, you're so funny. She said that I'm gonna have to put my hair up inside my hat so the stink bugs don't get caught in my hair. Well, that's good, because there have been some bugs that have gotten caught in my hair that I have not been very pleased with, like the box elder bugs and the beetles and things like that.
Do you need to screw down, or are they soft enough?
They're soft enough just to punch. So I think I have a couple or a few more, so I can show you exactly how I got these punched. I'll bring this up just a tiny bit here. So I punched them, I think, on the leg side here, but you can do it on the floral side, as long as you just have to get it right in the right spot. I'm going to say right twice. Yeah. I think I actually might did it on the flower side.
So these are plated pewter. So the pewter is a softer metal.
Yes,
so,
pewter is very soft. So you just have to make sure you have it lined up just right. And then you can punch a hole straight through it. And take the other piece out there. So a super easy punch. No problem. Pewter is very soft and very malleable. Oh my gosh, Monica, June bug? No. If there's one thing I hate more than stink bugs, it's those June bugs.
Yeah, but you can hear them coming from far away.
Oh my goodness. And they're huge, and then they smack. And they bite too. They sting or whatever.
You can hear them a mile away.
Yes, I hate that. 5 comes in a pack, so 5 for $22 is a steal of a deal. I think these retail for $9 a piece. So you're getting a heck of a deal on these if you pick these up. So cart 102 for the Fairy Heart Pack. And I believe that is the only design that I have those in. So lots of different ways that you can use it, but I thought this was absolutely adorable. Yes, Aunt Jean, June bugs are the worst.
Cockroaches are worse than June bugs.
I don't know. Yeah. I haven't seen...
June bugs don't run underneath your cabinets or anything. They just
but you see June bugs way more often than you would cockroach. I don't remember the last time I saw a cockroach.
No, not around here, but I mean for people who live in those areas. Yeah. Cockroaches year round.
Yeah, no.
And they get into everything. A June bug just lands and dies. You know.
Or the... What are the Asian beetles? Those
How about the shad flies?
Oh, the fish flies.
The shad flies, those are awesome.
I hate those too. We have so many terrible bugs. Like, why do we have these things?
For the birds.
For the birds and the bats and all the other creatures.
I used to play with June bugs.
Ew, Cindy, no, I couldn't, Cindy.
She's showing her bravado.
Not for me. So these are super duper cute. I'm going to pop these off screen here so we can dive into some of our other offerings. Our next one will be our Nouveau Lilies pack. I'm going to pop that up as cart 103. This was a high ticket item for the pre-sale. So I'm going to pop these up here. Take these off to the side. You don't have June bugs in Idaho?
It's never June in Idaho.
Duckies.
It's never June. It goes from May to July.
It's probably not humid enough out there for them. Gets kind of dry out there.
May to July in Idaho.
Yeah. All right, our Nouveau Lilies pack. Get popped into here.
Oh my gosh, Monica, I would take June bugs over mosquitoes all day long.
No.
All day long.
Nope, not me.
Oh yeah.
You just spray some bug spray on, those mosquitoes leave you alone. Or have vanilla or those candles. June bugs, nothing phase those. Nothing. I can't do the June bugs.
No, we went up to the Boundary Waters canoeing a couple years ago, and you had to have face nets on for the mosquitoes. They're so bad.
Oh, I'm sure. All right, so you get 4 pieces in a pack for $20. $20. This is a 4-way connector. So you have a natural brass jump ring that's sitting up here in the top hole, and then these 3 are super neat because you can dangle chain from here, you can dangle little charms from there. But I wrapped some filigree around the back, so I'm going to bring out that bracelet here. This is the bracelet that I had on the countdown timer prior to the live starting. Pop those up a bit. And all of the items are photographed on the live shop as well, in the case that you guys need to save any photos for future use. How did you guys like the little paint PDFs of all the paint sets and things? I heard a lot of people really liked those. So I'm hoping that you don't have to have like 100 different screenshots of each web page. You can just screenshot a couple pages of the PDF and have all of the sets on there. I forgot who said that I did that in my free time. I was like, when I really get some free time, maybe I'll color code it. How pretty would that be? So I hope you guys are enjoying that. But this is the Lilies bracelet that I created. I'll pop this up again so you can see the front of the lilies, how beautiful that is. That is a pewter casting with a brass turquoise plating. So it is plated. And this is the back. Good. I'm glad you guys are loving those. And then this filigree I have offered before. I'm just going to pop it up on the screen very quickly here. That'll be cart 104. I'm going to actually bring this up just a tiny bit here. That is what I used to wrap around this Lilies pendant here. So I'm actually going to, there we go. If we do it sideways, then they'll fit on the screen here. Good. I'm glad, Candy. That makes me feel good. We use those for polling orders, so I had them on hand anyhow, so I just needed to print them off, and they are in a PDF form that is printable, so you are able to print those off at home and have them set up in your area. You can have a little binder with it. They are printable, so everything should be like crystal clear on the page and not be blurry or anything. So this is the item that I have offered before. This is F103. This filigree is great for doing a whole bunch of different wraps. I know that you guys have been following, since we started doing the lives here, we have used this a few different times. But you can see on the bracelet here, that's what I used to wrap and kind of frame this Lilies pendant and took away one of the showing holes down there. So we'll leave that filigree pack up there for a moment as we go over how to get this nice and tight over top, and then how to do the hole punch here. maybe. Gotta grab my tools. Alright. So first you're going to first you're actually going to take the jump ring off. So let's do that quickly here. So just open it, slide that jump ring off. This is so adorable, you guys. And you could probably do it either way. If you wanted to wrap these two sides around and in to kind of cup the lily, you can do that, but we used it vertically here. You line it up on your piece to kind of see where your marks are going to need to be, where you need to start bending prior to. It's looking pretty good. So let's grab the round nose pliers that I have. We're going to come up right. We're going to take this tab and fold that up. And do that on the opposite side. And then we're going to insert it, kind of see how we're laying. That's pretty good, but I think I can come up just a tiny bit more here on this bottom side. Readjust. That's a bit better. I like to make sure that I can still slide it around. And you might want to, so Kieran actually helped me punch this hole after the fact of getting it put together here. Sorry, I was just trying to read Monica's comment here. You know what? Ainsley would be saying the opposite of you, Monica, because Ainsley loves polar bears. So I'm sure she would love to be where the polar bear's at. Oh, but you have brown and black bears, though. One time I did see a black bear. That was down when I was visiting in Virginia years and years and years and years ago. Long time ago.
I thought polar bears were only on floating icebergs.
Yeah.
Right? That's
the only place that the polar bears are.
I just don't know how they live, living on the broken off iceberg.
Right. All right, so right here in between these two little loops here is where I'm going to start my initial hole punch. Get her punched out. Ha ha ha. There we go. And make sure that the hole punch side is the side that's going to be coming back down over top of your piece here. And then I need to fold in these corners right kind of by this dot on either side. So I'm going to pull this up. The sides might be
Rudolph.
Rudolph?
Peggy said only in Rudolph.
Oh, jeez. That's something I haven't seen in a bit.
Nothing. Yukon Cornelius.
Cornelius, that's what his name was. Oh. That's funny.
Yukon Cornelius.
Alright. Get these rolled up just a bit here. And then I'll show you how to get it nice and tight to the metal here. That seems pretty good. Make sure our hole side is the top side. You might have to undo this just a tiny bit. So you have to get it almost perfect to squeeze in there. Top side, whole side. And that snaps in. Is that Kieran leaving?
Sounds like it.
It's like I can hear his car door. Yep, that's him. You can tell by the sound of the car that he makes. Oh, yes. She definitely probably would feel a little bit different if they got close to... I know I've seen, like, there's a couple instances where I've seen that some bears have gotten into people's cars and things. Like, how scary would that be if you went camping and, you know, your car was... It's because people leave their cars unlocked. Bears can open cars and then shut themselves in. There we go. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take the bugs too, Peggy.
I'll take the bugs, but you know what?
You don't have to say, with a bear, you have to say, hey bear, hey bear, hey bear.
But
with a bug, you don't. You just say,
what's
can
that
you say
saying?
Hey bug, hey bug.
What's that saying between would you rather choose a bear or a man? And all these women say bears.
A bear?
They would rather have an interaction with a bear over a man.
Good luck.
That's just because some people are just horrific towards women. But
good luck.
They're just saying that a bear would probably be less likely to do something.
And it's a rare occurrence?
Yes. Right, exactly.
So you only have to be exposed to a bear once.
Exactly. Okay. So now that we are tapped in there, I'm going to pull these sides in just a tad bit closer. Kind of trying to overlap the piece of pewter here. And just keep pulling your sides in until you can start to fold them over. We're going to fold that up. And fold this side down. And our holes are lining up here, if you can see that. So if you kind of use that baseline of hitting the hole or punching the hole prior to, but like right above those swirls, you'll have no problem. It's a lot harder to punch it after wrapping it. I will tell you that. My little brother had to take an awl and shove the awl through the metal so we could see where the hole was punch it through, because the hole punch wouldn't go in between both the metal and the pewter because it wasn't long enough. So I'm folding in the metal here to grip it nice and tight. On the back here, you'll see that there is some room here where the metal isn't compressed against the back. Good. You have to make this necklace, Jean. I'm going to take my steel bench block here. I'm going to zoom this up for a second. I'm going to put her comment up there while I'm...
Man, it's so reversible, too. Look at it. It's so pretty on the back.
Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. All right. So, I'm actually...
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I'm going to flip it back to the Nouveau Lilies pack here up above. So, on the sides here, after compressing the metal over top of the pewter, I'm going to hit it a few times on the opposite sides of the top and bottom. And I'm going to do that same on the sides, right and left, to compress it in really nice and tight. And then you'll see that there's just a tiny bit of... There we go, once it loads, just a tiny bit of room there. And you're just going to repress that down with your pliers. It just gives you a little bit more room and really gets the natural brass. The word that I started using now is snatched. It snatches.
It snatches.
Yep. Snatches to the brass and to the pewter here. So then that's not going to fall out. And then on the back here, with there being room, I took this side of my hammer and kind of compressed that in so it would fit the shape that the back has. It's not a flat back, it's got some divots. Once this loads, it's got some divots and things, so you want the metal to follow those divots. So I'm going to hammer her down Not super hard because you don't want to mess up your lilies on the other side. But that just makes sure that it's nice and close. And then I take my bigger pliers, because these stretch out a bit more than the other ones. And then I compress all the way down the sides here to make sure that we're all nice and tight.
Do we know which pliers those are?
These are the brown pliers.
The brown pliers.
The brown pliers with the little markings here. There we go. They have number markings on them.
Yeah, maybe see which item number that is.
It's gonna be a V dash something.
I'll look up here in the meantime.
So then I keep knocking over my stinking feathers here. There we go. Oh, there's dog hair. Get that out of there. There we go. Now you can see that it's compressed to the back. It follows the divots there. And then it frames nice and pretty. And then you can see that there's some room here to fit your jump rings through. Those are both open. Move my finger maybe. There we go. Those are both open. And then you have your other hole at the top here. I used the Tiny Jump Ring pack for these two jump rings. I used CH103 chain, which I do have a couple of these spools on the warehouse the warehouse tab of Live Shop, of the vintageliveshop.com. So you are able to get the same chain. There are a couple of different finishes of the CH103, and then I also have been using a ton of CH04, so that has also been kind of re-upped on the warehouse tab, because they're both not soldered, so you can open and close the links, and you can do a lot with it. I absolutely love them. The loop making pliers. 2 to 8 millimeter loops.
VPL11. I'm going to get the link.
Yeah.
And share it here.
You can just do it here. Just control copy and shove it into the live over there. I want to make sure that I can still see what everybody's saying here. Acaloop. Yes, it would make a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pendant too. Awesome. I'm glad you love that chain too, Cindy. It's becoming one of my all-time favorites by far. So, Nouveau Lilies pack, you get 4 pieces for $20, which this is a super expensive piece. I absolutely love it. And then we just wrapped some filigree around the back to frame it. You could even leave it as is like this, or you could do another punch down there in the middle. I thought it would also be cool if you took a 3-to-1 chain. So if you had 3 sides here and made it go into 1 to the clasp, it would be a 3-layered chain instead of a 2-layered chain like I have here. So very unique. I love the different connectors that we have been offering. I seriously just love that. And then, if you'd like, I did a little bit of extra reliefing on some of these, so then it brings out a little more of that brass rather than the turquoise. And that also helps when you hammer it a little bit. You'll also get some of that reliefing. So, that is our Lily's bracelet. That's the one that we showed on the, countdown timer thing. So, this is probably my favorite of today for sure. Actually, I'll put it over my wrist here so you guys can see it up close.
We'll get a double showing today, huh?
Yeah, because we usually do a look at the end, but since this is my favorite, I'm just going to give you a quick look here of what the sizing looks like. And then you could add a 3rd chain there in the middle if you'd like. So pretty, especially with my skin tone. No, for real. It looks so good with my skin tone.
I was going to say, and I didn't say that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, actually, I was going to.
We were both thinking it.
You had the close-up on that. The colors look good with your skin.
I'll toot my own horn.
I mean, because there's some people that are really white, really tan, really, dark, and so it would look different on everybody.
I'm a little bit of a good mixture of both. But when it comes summertime, my skin tone is more like my dad's, and it gets it's like a red tan. You know how some people have like olive skin? I have red skin. Don't mean that in a bad way either. But yes, we both have that skin tone. But I definitely get that from my dad. My little brother and my little sister both have olive like my mom. But I think even Caden, I think all three of my younger siblings have my mom's skin tone. And then I have my dad's skin tone. Alright. Now that we have gone through that, we're going to hit up this curved feather pack. So I think this is the only one that I've designed with this item here. So I'm going to pop these off to the side. Don't forget, if you spend $200, the little trinkets that I make during the lives, those get thrown into your orders as a little thank you from the warehouse. So whatever I usually make during the live, if you purchase over $200, then you get a little free cutesy thing thrown in there. Kind of like the free dives, if that makes sense. I'm so glad that you guys are loving this one just as much as me. It's definitely my favorite. And it looks like we're still doing good on stock there. The warehouse special is sold out. I had not a doubt that was going to be sold out there pretty quickly. Janet.
Cart number for the filigree. Can you put that back up?
Cart 104 was for the filigree that goes on the back. I can't wait until you get your little Alaska charm, Monica, coming in your stash. I just loved it so much. It was so cute. All right. Hopefully that answers your question, Janet. I have it up there, cart 104. All right, and then we're going to go back to that curved bracelet pack here. These are pre-curved. You don't have to leave them curved. You can straighten them out too. Super easy to do with your fingers. But this is one of the more perfect kind of bracelet curves here. It nestles in very nicely. And it's pre-curved, so you don't have to do it. And if it's a little too small, just bring out these sides a little bit. It's very easy to bend. If it's a little too big, just push them in just a little bit. Kind of like that. Very easy to maneuver. See, that's a little bit too small now. So then I'm going to take this and just slowly bend it out just a little bit. And then it sits perfect once again. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to make sure I get the correct quantities of this for you. I think I have offered this before, but I took down the quantity that goes in the pack. So it's 5 pieces for $24. It is an 88 by 18 millimeter tall feather with that bracelet curve. So 5 pieces for $24. And all I did was curve this little tail here at the end, which you could attach a jump ring or two there and then use that to clasp, but it was honestly the perfect size for my clasp, so I decided just to use that as is. And this is a super gorgeous piece to paint. So I used verdigris and and then I dapped some ebony stain on top of it to kind of give us this really pretty, like, darker teal color. But you can definitely ombre this or do whatever you please. But it is so pretty. Such a statement piece. You could drop some feathers down here in the middle. From the other, we have some tiny, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 different tiny feather options today. So you can drop the feathers down here. You can drop it off to the side right here. Let me take an example. I think the silver one would be cute. So if you took the silver one and dropped it from the side there, or from the other side, I think that would be absolutely adorable. But I really do love this bracelet curve. But I took, show you here, and we did this. So I'm going to go just above the curve here, and I'm going to make a loop. And you'll see that this crevice here goes all the way up to the top. So essentially you want the end of your loop to fall into that center crevice there. And I wanted it big enough for my clasp to fit through. It's looking pretty good there. Squeeze it in just a little bit. It's already got a pre-punch here down below on the other side. And I'm going to, since we already shown the verdigris with the ebony, I think I'm going to do a different color and then do ebony as well. Because I have the ebony right here. So ebony stain, once it loads. And then, should we do a random? Maybe we'll try coral.
Ooh, red in there.
I like coral.
Pinky red.
Yes. And then I'll show you how I did this. No brushes. It's almost like I'm allergic to using the brushes. Like I'm allergic to chocolate, because I have been finding myself using the brushes less and less and less, just because I love the organic colors and muted colors. I don't like fine lines and things like that. So make sure you have your handy dandy paper towel with you. I'm actually going to grab a rock here and prop this other bracelet up maybe so you guys can see it a bit better. Yeah. That's looking good. It's a bit more visible compared to, oh, actually we'll put this right next to it so you guys can see the difference there. Perfect. All right. So we're going to do some coral, which is typically not a color that I use. So we're doing a little experimenting on the live today. And then we'll use some ebony to darken it up. So I'm just going to start from the top here, direct from the nozzle. And the paint is more opaque than the stain. So you need a little bit less of the paint as you're doing this. You can see how those are actually just starting to pool into the lines there. So I'm going to get just a general coverage over top of the feather. Just super pretty. And then I'm going to come in with my paper towel, kind of mute it down. Go on it a little bit. That's actually, coral's not a bad color. It's actually super pretty. And then I'm going to do one more layer of the coral because the paint adheres to paint super fast. I think it actually adheres to the paint a little bit quicker than it does to the metal. So I'm going to do another section of this coral. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to use that same blotting spot where my color is. Kind of like, it's like a feathered technique. Let me get this coral off my fingers. Which that's really pretty. But we need a little bit of dimension. So let's shake up the ebony. Ooh, do it, Monica. All right, right on top of the coral here, I'm going to take some ebony right to the paper towel. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And I'm going to blot that straight on to our piece. I think I do need a little bit more though, because the paper towel likes to soak it up, but that's what keeps the colors muted. So it's kind of like an antiquing process in a way. So that's your coral. Oop, once it unblurs there. Coral with ebony. And then you have the turquoise with ebony down below. And it'll look just slightly different when it's dried. So we're going to set this up next to our turquoise one so you guys can see the difference between the brass, the turquoise, and the coral. It doesn't make it look like it's been such a... It doesn't look like it's such a difference when it's up here close. But when you put it next to the natural brass, there is a massive difference. So the paints definitely can and do elevate the designs. Oh yeah, you could make it into a ring for sure. And these would also go super, super good with the feather fringe earrings that I will be showing a little bit later in the live. So make sure you grab a pack. So that is the feather bracelet there. Attach one of these to the end would be absolutely adorable. Monica's cats are tearing around. That's funny. All right. And then our clasp goes right there. And your hole punch is already there, so you're going to attach your chain. I used CH103 again because it's unsoldered and you can just link it direct to the feather there around till you get to your clasp. So, also super easy. We have a lot of feathers today. It's kind of the bohemian feel, I suppose you could say. All right. Let's get into probably our gold earrings next here, because we have gold and a silver version of these components. So you are able to choose if you want to do gold or silver. Pop these back down. Lay these out. This is one of the tiny feathers. I'll pop this over here in a second. So these are super cute. They are light. Not super duper light, but they are light enough to be earrings. I know sometimes when you bulk things up, it can look a little intimidating, but to make sure I put the right caps on the right paints and stains here. All right. That's what I also like doing, is experimenting with paint colors on the live here, because then I'll be like, oh, I'll use that again, or no, I won't use that again. I will probably be using the coral again, though.
Are you saying they're guinea pigs?
Yeah, you're my guinea pigs. I got my Mellow Yellow for my caffeine today. You know what, Peggy? I'm going to put my hair up so those stink bugs don't get into it. There we go. Now I look bald. I'm not bald though. Alright. So we're going to pull those up. And then we're going to get the offerings up here. So you will be able to choose in your cart which colors you want. So we'll pop up the organic oval pack first. Warehouse sale. I'll pop those up a little bit there. Alright, the organic pack. You get 12 pieces for $20. You can choose between gold or silver or both. Lovely. These are such amazing little components here. And they're very organic. I love them.
They look like Stonehenge.
Oh, yeah.
Or a cairn, you know, the stone stacks that people make all over.
I can't remember.
It's kind of cool.
I can't remember who picked these out or who designed these. Maybe it was Jean. I know she's super into the organic like I am. So, you can choose silver or gold. And then with the ring portion up here, you can also choose between silver and gold. So I'm going to just kind of maneuver these over to the side there. There we go. Silver, gold. And then our ring packs, silver and gold, which I believe these are also 12 pieces. Yes. So silver or gold for the organic oval, and then silver or gold for the ring pack. Ring pack is also 12 for 20. Either color, silver or gold. And these are super cute. I'll actually pop up these ones first. These are the organic ovals. We'll start there. Yes, they are, Maria. The stink bugs are horrible here. I see one at least every day in the building. For real. Almost every single day, there's a stink bug. Or a box elder bug, or a beetle, or a fly. Something. There's always a little bug somewhere.
Little friends.
My little friends. They're not my friends. I am not friendly towards the bugs.
That's what the little vacuum cleaner's for.
Yeah, the bugs end up in the trash. Or probably smushed. Don't like the bugs. So these are the organic ovals. Front and back. These are super cute. They are pewter cast. This is plated in sterling silver, and this is plated in 10K gold. And then we'll flip over to the ring pack here, which are also organically shaped. Yeah, I know, right, Maria? Bye-bye. See you later. But I think there's new, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like nuisance in, like, all different kinds of places. Because I know down south they have, like, gators and stuff like that, which you'd want to stay away from. And then Alaska, you have your bears and
big mosquitoes.
Big mosquitoes, yeah. Like the hawk mosquitoes, those are huge. Those don't bite, though. These are the organic rings. Very organic texture to them. It's kind of as if they were hand scraped, almost. Love them. They are a size 8 if you want to wear them as stacking rings. So you can choose between adding them in components of other jewelry or using them as stacking rings, which are absolutely adorable. You could do them in like a set of 3. Silver, gold, silver. I think I might have like a rose gold one too, but I didn't have rose gold in this organic oval, so I did not offer those today. So just the gold and silver. But since this is pewter, they are insanely easy to hole punch. They already come with 1 hole punch, the organic ovals do. So those are left here on the bottom, but I took an additional one and added 3 more punches. One on the opposite side of the pre-punch, and then on the right and left side of the drop itself, and then kind of created it into a 4-way connector to drop down from the organic ring here. And prior to, I didn't have the feather on there. I thought the feather was a super cute addition because I found it in solid brass, which matches the gold. So you can do it without the feather, so I'll cover that up, or you can do it with the feather. But the feather ties it together for the theme that we've been running today. Or you could use this small feather here. And I noticed a lot of you ladies were picking up one specific type of small feather. So you can just do that one or the other one. Because of those earrings that we're showing, I will remind you that you can use probably 4 different styles for the other earrings. So if you like one feather over the other feather, they're pretty close in size. So you can use any of them. And I'll have them all set out here for you in a little bit. But I'm going to take this little feather out since that's in this offering here. You get 24 pieces of this tiny feather for $20. That is cart 108. Ooh, water bugs.
Do they stay in the water?
Hopefully. The ones here don't. The ones here crawl around. Like the ones that have like the legs that skip on top of the water. Yeah, the water spiders. Black flies. Ugh. Oh, the horse flies are horrible here. Those are like this big and they bite and they leave big old lumps. I hate those. Alright. But this is a teeny tiny feather.
Can't believe you. Are you going to show those earrings that you did with those?
What do you mean?
Those little fluffies, those fluffers?
Yes, those are with these ones,
different
though.
It's a different feather.
It's a different feather. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you'll be able to use any of the small feathers for the other earrings that you guys fell in love with, which I'll show in a bit. But the small feather, this is solid brass. You get 24 pieces for $20. They're super cute. Love them. Tons. But you could. There's another silver feather that I'll be offering a bit later. But you can use that with your silver one. If you were to do your silver dangles here. And then it kind of looks like a dream catcher almost. There we go. Something like that. Would be super, super, super cute. So you can do... I should have added the feathers pictures to all of the small... or the earrings to all the small feather things, but I didn't. I wasn't gonna make a whole bunch of different ones either. Ooh, Japanese ladybugs. Those are the worst. Don't like them. Alright. But we'll show you guys these, how they look at the end of the live. So we'll move on. Probably to that next feather selection, to be honest. It's going to be our spirit feather pack, I believe. So I'm going to pull these off. And then I will show you what I mean with the several different feathers that we have here. I've gone through all of those so far. Alright. So this is our small feather. This is solid brass. This is the one up screen there, cart 108. And then we're going to bring in our spirit feather pack, which is natural brass. Just a tiny, tiny bit larger than that solid brass feather there. We'll bring in a bit closer. There we go. So you can use either of these two or these other two that I'll show you here in a second to make these feather earrings. I'll get this out of the way too. I like the way that they lay out.
Those look crazy.
I love them. They look so cool. They look cool when they're hung up next to your ear too. Hopefully this snaps into focus. Come on. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, well, hopefully it'll focus up here in a moment. So I'm going to pop those up top, these up. And then I'm going to bring on the Native Spirit Feather Pack, which is approximately the same size. It's just a tiny bit different, and then I'll show them up close for you guys too, so you guys can see the pattern difference here. And then we'll bring on that other tiny feather pack. These are the pewter ones plated in sterling silver. So any of these variations of feathers will work for these earrings because they are approximately the same size. You click into that one.
This is, Pam was asking about this, the filigree on this one. Is it the clover filigree? You want with this?
No.
What is this one called?
It's F103.
F103?
F103 or cart 104 for the
scrolled ironwork.
Yes. Cart 104 or item number F103 for this filigree that wraps around the back of the Lily's pendant. Okay. So, as I was saying, yes, they would look phenomenal painted. Okay, it looks like we got our focus back, but then it shifted our screen. I hate it when it does that.
It just changes cameras.
I know. Okay, so Lynn was saying yesterday that these, I think Lynn and Lisa were saying that these would look really gorgeous if they were ombre'd down with paint, which I absolutely do agree. I just didn't quite have enough time to do that. Yes, ombre painted. These are absolutely stunning. You can use any of these variations of feathers. Oh, Ian just texted me, so I texted him right before the live started, and I was like, Ian, I have a live at noon. Please don't call me. I was like, we'll chat soon. Love you, bye. He just texted me, oh, I'm on the way back. Love you, bye. Talk to you later. So at least there won't be like a mid-interruption. So this feather pack down here, you get 16 pieces for $18. This is the Cart 111, the pewter-based sterling silver plated feather. I'll bring this up as a close-y. It's a close-up, so you guys can see. Super cute, very detailed on both sides. The next style that I have, we'll go back over to this solid brass one, is Cart 108. Also very detailed, super cute. Then we have the Native Spirit Pack, which is Cart 110. Is this style. And then these three styles here are 24 pieces for $20. This silver one is 16 pieces for $18. The brass ones are 24 pieces for $20, just to clarify. But this is the Native Spirit Feather. This is a bit more detailed, I would say. And then last...
Are you going to go through the construct on those earrings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because Maria was asking how long the chain is.
Yes.
So we'll get to that, Maria.
And then the Spirit Feather here is the style that I used for these earrings specifically. This one is probably the least detailed one, but I thought it was absolutely perfect because if you added, like everybody else was saying, the ombre paint, it would just be absolutely gorgeous. Stop shifting my camera, Facebook. Oh my gosh. I hate that. That's like the worst. Okay. So, any of these styles will fit for these earrings. And then we'll go over the construction of them. So, we use an ER0003 as the top ear wire here. I took CH04 chain I'll come down here to the end. Actually, let me grab my awl. My awl that's in my awl holder. That's Uncle Doug so graciously made for me. All right.
It's about 1.5 inches.
So there we go. There's a good view. I like to do it by links, though. I'm really particular about links because sometimes if you're using inches, then some people will be like, oh, it's 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to bring this over here because it keeps shifting. There we go. 20 links of CH04 chain, which approximately, I have a caliper here, so I don't even have to read a ruler. And I can go to inch, which is nice. Which is approximately 1.8, if not nearly 2 inches. So, around 2 inches or 20 links of CH04 for this specifically. Go back over here to Facebook. Yeah, it's gotta be Lynn. Okay, so it's approximately 2 inches of chain. Not a whole lot. And these links open and close. So it's absolutely perfect for this project because you're not adding any additional jump rings. You're just taking the chain that's already existing and attaching your feathers to it. So I'm going to get a close up here again. My camera doesn't want to shift. The top link goes direct to the ear wire. Okay. The second link down, you're going to attach 2 feathers on either side of the link. Get a good old close-up here. So 2 feathers attached to 1 link, and then you're going to go 1 link below that and attach another 2 feathers on either side of the chain. Making sure that you can see this nice and clear. Then you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip 5 links. You're going to add another 2 on either side of the link. And then right below that, you're going to attach another 2. I'm trying to get them spread out so you guys can really see this on either side. Actually pull it like that so you guys can see. Right below that other link, you're going to skip another 5 until you hit your 2 on either side for both of those links, and then you can either cut off this additional chain down here at the bottom or you can leave it. But once you shake it all out, then it's this really pretty feathered earring. And then it would look absolutely amazing if it was painted. So I actually might be able to do something like that very quickly. Very quickly. We've only been on for like an hour, so that's not bad, to be honest. Let's just try it while they're already on here. We'll see if we can do something. We'll do like some sort of little ombre thing. If I can get my sides all flipped. Don't worry, I'm not painting yet. I'm just trying to flip the sides in case you can't quite see. Push that back over. Pull my ear wire. We'll just do like a blotty. We'll do a blotty look. But this kind of shows you guys where the links are skipped, where they're attached, when it's all spread out like that. There you go. All right. What colors you thinking? Give me some colors, guys, to ombre with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 12 feathers on each earring. Because there's 4 on the top, 4 in the middle, 4 on the bottom. So if you get 1 pack of feathers, you can create 1 pair of earrings. Except for the silver ones. The silver ones need an additional, 10 or something. So you'll want to get 2 packs of the silver feather if you want them in silver. And just 1 pack of each of these would give you 1 pair of those earrings. Teal, coral, turquoise, blue to purple. Okay. We'll grab some turquoise.
Teal, coral, turquoise.
Maybe. Alright, turquoise. Gonna get some purple. I think I'm gonna grab 1 color from each person here. We're gonna do like a... Did another color come through yet?
Blue to purple, teal to coral, turquoise.
Okay. I think I'm gonna leave the coral out this time. But we'll do like a verdigris, because that's kind of like our teal, into a purple. We'll do an ombre like this, I think. Remember, shake up your bottles. This is a good time if you're just sitting at home to shake up your paint bottles. Say that every time.
You sound like an aerobics teacher. Okay, gals.
Well, I sort of am a teacher, just not.
Keep it going, keep it going. You can do this. It'll be all worth it.
You can do it. You can do it.
It'll be all worth it when we're done.
Oh, I know. That's so funny. Or like a yoga instructor or something.
I know it burns, but you gotta push through.
It burns! Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add some turquoise here. Now this is probably going to be a ton easier
when they're
not on the earring, but this is just for some shimmy giggles. Try and use whatever words I can other than bad words. Shimmy giggles.
Good call. Good brain exercise.
Yes. It's actually, I heard that smarter people use less cuss words.
They say profanity is a weak mind trying to express itself forcefully.
Yes, I recently just heard that coming from somewhere. I don't remember where. It was one of the movies that we were watching. All right, turquoise. This might be a little bit harder then, because some of these are upside down yet, and they would keep flipping on me. We'll just give some sort of look into this. Why would we want to make it easy on ourselves? We love a challenge. We love a challenge. So, I mean, honestly, I would probably have your pieces not put on first, obviously. And it would be easier to ombre like that. But that's really pretty. You guys picked out some really great colors to go together. Teal. Okay, so it's turquoise, verdigris, and griffin wing. Griffin wing's got a little bit of that shimmer to it because it's a metallic. But I liked the deep purple. I'm going to stay away from my coral onyx.
Smoke in the water.
Smoke on the water. I think when did we sing that in school? Or maybe no, I think we learned it on guitar or something in the 4th grade.
Monica read, swearing was a sign of intelligence. Yeah. Bathroom stall maybe is where she read that.
Oh, like where people like write their little notes and things.
I'm smart.
Yeah. Funny. Okay, well some of these back pieces are painted, but whatever. You guys saw how pretty those colors were together anyway. see if I can bring in a little bit more here on the tops of these. Definitely do this before you attach your feathers, you guys. This is proving to be a little bit more difficult than what I was thinking it was going to be, with the feathers not staying in line. But this is like something fun to experiment with it, because then you know that you need to paint prior to paint applying. Get some of that purple down there. All right, we'll just see kind of how these turned out a bit. I missed some spots as they dried, but there we go. I think I needed some more verdigris in there. That kind of wiped off pretty fast. There's more verdigris on the backs of them than there is on the fronts, but then comes into that deep purple. That's not super bad. If you did like a dip, you could do... Maria says, I must be brilliant. Oh, man. No, I know there's some super, super smart people that use other words. It just
becomes a habit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As a filler words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when little kids actually like use it in the correct context, because then you're like, where'd you hear that from?
But honestly, from my point of view, hearing it come from a woman, to me, is so ugly.
Oh, really?
I know it's a double standard, but it's so ugly hearing something coming out of a beautiful woman that's, just,
I suppose.
Women are beautiful, and then to hear that come out, you go like, oh, that's terrible.
You wouldn't like my car shows where because I'm always like, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, I know.
Bleep, bleep. Oh, my goodness.
We need to help you.
Oh, yeah, I need some extra help. Oh, gosh. Okay, that's pretty okay, but you guys understand that I did not have them pre-braid, so a little bit different, but it's fun to add some color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip those into a bowl and then have the chain ombre with it. But if it would stop blurring, come on. Yeah, that's pretty good. Super cute. A nice old-fashioned man. Yeah, you're right. He is old-fashioned.
I am old-fashioned. And that's okay too.
Yeah, no. It's all okay. Everybody's got their different views and different opinions, and that's why there's Democrat and Republican and Libertarian and Independent, and everybody's got their own juju. That's what's so great about being human, too, is that everybody's just so uniquely different. Okay, so these are the feathers. Let me know if you guys need to see any of those cart numbers again for the small feathers here, or you can view them on the live shop. Yeah, it wasn't until I was older did I start, but it was never around my siblings, and it was never around anybody that was super young at all. Like, I'm very respectful of my surroundings. I always try and make sure of that. So gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Okay.
Yes, Elaine, yeah.
Now we're actually going to flip on this other necklace, which has a couple of our other feathers. Not this one and not this one. So we're going to pop those out of the way. I'm going to hang these back up. Okay. So these feathers are still used in this next necklace. This feather, which also has a solid brass version on the shop. And then this massive quill feather, which I like to show it side by side so you guys can really see.
You put your finger next to it, you see how really long that thing is.
It's my whole finger.
It's massive.
Hold on, I'll flip it around this way. It's like bigger. It goes down into my palm from the tip of my finger.
Yeah, that's huge.
There we go. It's a quill. It's a quill feather. You can write with it. Okay, so now that we're up a bit more here, move my tools out of the way. For the shadow, and then we'll get the necklace on here. All right, our quill feather pack, 4 pieces for $24. I'm gonna pop that up on the screen here. That's this very, very, very large feather. This one, this gorgeous, beautiful feather. And I'm going to take these little feathers and kind of put them out of the way for now because we've gone through those. But I want to get this necklace here up on screen. There we go. Sorta. It's a little biggie. There we go. I'm going to adjust the chain a little bit. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Bring the chain back over that way. So a little bit of a curvy curve. Gorgeous. Okay. So, for this quill feather pack up there, it is 4 pieces for $24. They're so beautiful. Such a large statement piece and such a great piece for using as a portion of your chain. Oh, I dropped it. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Which is also natural brass. I should probably give you a nicer close-up here of the detail. There we go. The detail in this feather is incredible. Imagine some beautiful paint on there. Maybe I'll do some greens or something here in a moment. And then we attach these little feathers down here at the end so that little feather, that pewter sterling silver one, that was cart 111, 18 pieces or $18 for 16 pieces. We just showed that one in the prior live. That is attached down here at the bottom. And then for the feather pack, our native feather pack will be cart 113. You can choose either natural brass or solid brass. These are also very detailed. I have some purple paint on me. Ha ha ha. Let me make sure I get the right. So 10 pieces for $20. You can either choose 10 of the solid brass, 10 of the natural brass, or for a quantity of 20, you can get both. Very detailed. Love it. So these two I had layered here down at the bottom. Actually, I think I had another brass one, but that's approximately the one that I had there. And then up here for this little dangle one, it is the native spirit one, which is the very detailed one, which is popping up there next. Cart 110 for the native spirit. 24 pieces for $20. So, this is also a super easy combination. Nothing scary about it. Let me know if you need cart numbers again, because I can get those to you. We'll start here with the quill feather. We made a loop here again with the stem part of the flower. Just enough to fit a couple JR 106s. It's the jump ring that I used, which attaches to the chain on the one side going up, so your necklace part of the chain, to a JR 106. which connects into the loop that we had made here. Then another JR106 is also through that same hole, but it's flipped over top of the stem, which is housing our native spirit feather here, as well as some more CH04 chain, which is then dropped down to the bottom of the flower. You can see I have made 3 hole punches down there at the bottom, one for where the chain connects, one for the 3 feathers that are together, and then another for the rest of your necklace chain. So this chain section here is not connected to the necklace part of the chain. It is connected to the top and the bottom. I'm freezing. I'll wait a second. It's crazy that I've been trying to pay attention to the screen so I can see when I'm starting to freeze. So just give it a minute. You don't have to tell me I'm freezing because I know. Before we have the comments up there. Yeah, I love that you can see the subtitles. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you guys have your subtitles on.
Time for a mellow drink.
Mm-hmm. Good thing this isn't a super complicated one. Did you see Peggy's comment?
The crosswalk one here.
Yeah. That's funny. Alright. Hopefully I'm not freezing anymore. Hopefully that's good. I'm going to bring it back up for a second and see if this works. That's pretty good. Okay. So this chain, this CH04 chain that's in between or on top of the feather, connects to the jump ring and then to the bottom of the feather. It is not connected to the rest of the CH04 chain. So this is used as part of the necklace. And then your 3 feathers, or 2 feathers, or 1 feather, or a jewel can sit there down there at the end. So there's a lot of different things that you can use as your ending point down here. There we go. Shift that back over a little bit. But I thought the 3 feathers, the solid brass, natural brass, and the sterling silver plated feather was ideal, along with the tiny feather up here that's floating around off the top of the other feather. How many times can I say feather before I get to the end of the live? Before you get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
3 times.
And then he does like the bite down. Yes, I love this necklace. It's so cute. And then another way that I thought you could wear it would be if you had it like this. So I gotta get back over here. There we go. If you had it more in like a choker form and had this as your center and then your dangles over here, and then you could add a couple more dangles over here to center out the weight so this stays down in the middle. And then you could hang some little things off the chain that's hanging on top of the feather there. So there's a couple different ways to wear it.
Was CH04 in our offering?
Yep.
Do we check on how they're doing?
There's only a couple. There's only, I think, 2 spools of the 230, which is the brass color. That's CH04. That's those 2. So sterling silver, antique, and 10K gold I have in CH103. You have to just right there, yeah. So the sterling silver in CH103 is gone. Archived that. So I have 10K gold, sterling silver, antique, and actually those are the only 2 that I have in CH103. CH04, I have 10K gold, sterling silver, and I believe one left of the antique brass plated one, which is the style that I used with this necklace specifically. But if I can come up with another spool of it, I will have that uploaded for you guys. I'll try my hardest because I know the chain's super sought after. By the way, we are not reordering anything that's plated. So, if you need plated findings, if you need plated components, if you need Green Girl, if you need any of that, make sure you grab it before it's gone. Because I just got rid of the rest of the JR40s and 10K. I got rid of the rest of the ER20s in sterling silver. There are a bunch of findings that are going out of stock and will not be replenished. So make sure you have your eyes out for those specifically. And I may even be out of JR20s and 10K and sterling silver as well. The findings they're disappearing, they're not coming back plated. So if you need those, stock up on them. Don't forget, because I have packed out my last packs, and there was a big order today that cleared me out of quite a few different platings and quite a few different styles. So make sure you guys have your eyes peeled. Oh yes, there's also a chain sale going on Vintage.com. I do have the specific styles. Don't forget that there is also, copy this, paste that. There is also the warehouse chain spools category on VintageLiveshop.com. I have just put that in the comments there for you guys to see. Tons of different styles of chain that are and are not. So there are some exclusives that are not on the websites, retail or wholesale, that are in the warehouse shop. I think the bar chain is one of those. CH102, which is a flat link that is identical to CH104. It's just slightly smaller. There are a ton of chains that we don't offer on wholesale or retail on the warehouse sale tab. Good, Lynn stocked up. I think it's called the Reigning Chain sale because it's April now. So go get your things. I don't think I offer CH04 on wholesale or retail. I think it's just CH103. All right. Now that we have gone through the rest of our feathers, like I said, tons of feathers today, we'll hop on to our last offering. And then we'll be out of here to send you on your way. Hopefully you guys are going to have amazing weekends. Do you guys have weekend plans? I don't. I do not. Not yet, at least. Other than spending some time with the doggies and working on some car show things. Been sending emails, replying to vendors and sponsors and all sorts of things. Like, I never stop working. I work here and then I go home and work. work. I'll need to take another vacation to Virginia here to see my mom. It's so crazy because I'm used to seeing my mom all the time, and now I don't see her at all because she's in Virginia. Dad comes back like once a week.
FaceTime.
She doesn't have an iPhone.
Zoom.
Yeah, I think she does. She's wanting to get a new phone and wants to get an iPhone so she can FaceTime us kids.
You can Zoom it right now.
But then my little brother, he's down there too, which I'm used to seeing him all the time. It's just sad when your family's around all the time and then they're just not. But it'll be really good for them. There's other family down there that I love visiting with anyways.
There's family up here too you can visit.
But I visit you every day here at work.
It's like the last thing you want to do is see me on the weekend.
I was like, I think the last time that I had seen Aunt Melissa was, oh my gosh, besides the last time that I went down, it was probably a good 10 years, and same with Ben and all of them. I've seen Uncle Doug or Uncle Dan a few times because he has come up, but it's been so long. Ooh, the new artisan market area. Yes. Yes, or is it Adrienne? Adrian? Green? Miss Green? Mrs. Green?
She's there in Lynchburg.
Lynchburg. They moved to Lynchburg. So you might even see them once in a while. Who knows? Maybe in like waving or passing or something. How funny. Yes, that's where they moved.
Dan works for Glad. I think Glad. I don't know if Glad is the company, the ones that make Glad bags.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yep, he works for Glad. He manages that actually.
Well, he managed maintenance.
Yeah.
For them.
He gets a lot of nice stuff, nice things for us. Some trash bags and Burt's Bees, because Glad has Burt's Bees or owns it or something. Love them down there.
Oh.
Yes.
She's tired of seeing you. Oh.
Oh, she's tired of seeing you,
Uncle Doug. Heart.
Oh, funny. I see my brother every day here. Uncle Doug here. We just saw Kellen here.
My grandson.
Yep, Uncle Doug's grandson. Would he be my second cousin? Since it's
cousin's kids, second cousin.
Because I think it's like first removed or something. I don't know. All that family stuff usually gets my mind like, wow. Yeah, no, it's so good. And it's so beautiful down there. You guys have been having phenomenal weather. Mom keeps sending me weather of like 70 and 80 degrees while we're sitting here in the 50s and 40s. I'm like, oh, give me some of that. She said that the flowers are starting to bloom down there and everything.
Yeah, but as soon as it starts hitting 80, you're like, I wish it wasn't so hot.
Oh, no. No, give me the hot weather. I love it.
The cool weather.
Not me. I hate the cold.
Oh, I didn't say cold. I didn't say cold. As in cool.
But even like brisk. Like I want to be able.
60s and 70s is awesome to me.
I like 70s and up. 60s, as long as it's humid, is okay for me. But if it's a dry 60, it's too cold. I like to have where I'm able to. There we go. I'm getting the filigree pack popped up there. Where I'm able to go out in jeans and a tank top without freezing. I'm like always running cold, so it's not very often that I could do that, but I love just jeans and a tank top. That's my favorite. I'm not even like a huge fan of shorts, to be honest. Oh, then you'd love it over here. Oh, you'd love it in Alaska.
Pam sounds like a genealogist here. She's got it down.
Yeah.
I'm huge into family history.
That's what
research.
I thought when I was like first removed. I think so. Yes. The whole generation thing, finding cousins and aunts and uncles. I think it's so interesting, but I can never remember ever. It's so difficult. Okay. So this CH04 chain is what I used in this necklace here. We'll show what it looks like on a little bit night. Okay, Maria, I do love cold when I'm sleeping at night though, because the only time that I run hot is when I'm sleeping. And if it's not below 65 degrees in my house, when I'm sleeping, I sweat so bad. I can't do that. I have to have the fan on. 2 fans, a ceiling fan and my box fan, and then the house has to be colder than 65 degrees. Otherwise, it's just horrible. But I love the windows open. Since we're digging into that, that's my favorite. I love the natural fresh air. Okay, filigree pack, you guys. 5 pieces for $24. This is a stunning filigree. It's so pretty. This is our clover filigree. I believe it's 59 millimeters, if I'm guessing correctly. Set it in the center of my palm there. You guys can see. So 5 pieces for $24. That is natural brass. And then the other component that we used is the solid brass butterfly, which I do have it in natural brass, but I didn't offer that today because I thought that the solid brass showed up better on the filigree than what the natural brass would have. So you get 6 pieces for $24 of the butterfly, of the solid brass butterfly, which look at how cute those little swirls are. Very detailed. Lovely. I'll show you the back. Which would be cool if you filled the back too, but that's not what we're doing today. So 6 pieces for $24 of the solid brass butterfly, 5 pieces for $24 of the natural brass clover filigree. Get back over to our thing. Ooh, rhubarb! Grandma used to have a rhubarb plant.
Rhubarb pie.
Where did that go?
Strawberry rhubarb.
Did that end up dying?
We can walk around the side of the house and see.
I was like, I couldn't remember if
they dug it out or something. Oh no, this big leafed weed. We need to dig it up. No.
I'll text Spencer.
Yeah, see.
Be like, hey, is Grandma's rhubarb still there? I'm curious.
Guaranteed he wouldn't eat it. Maybe Kiana would.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, Kiana makes the best food. Oh, I bet she would make something really good with that. Okay. Hi, Debbie. So good to see you. She's just joining. You'll have to watch the replay because we are almost done with the live. This is the last item that we are demoing today. And then don't forget, stay tuned because we have that. I'm actually going to show it again because we might have some new people in here. At the end of the live, we are doing a giveaway as long as you love the live and you have made a purchase. So we have to confirm. We actually have to see if Debbie had purchased yet or not. But look at how cool that is. Give a little sneak peek. What the heck is this? This is cool. That's beautiful. Guardian Angel, watch over me. So, don't forget, once you love the live, you're entered into the scoop giveaway. Lots of cool, great components. There's some green girl in there too. It's a pretty mermaid. So stay tuned for the end of the live. Holy cow, Deborah. She has more than 50 first cousins. That is crazy. We have a lot of cousins too. Yeah, but I don't think it's nearly 50. Yeah. Ooh, rhubarb custard bars. That sounds interesting.
I love my strawberry rhubarb was the pie that Mom used to make.
Nice.
It just killed me. I love that so much.
All right. So, to get into the construction, I don't have any more of these crystal-y glass beads. That was just there because I went through my mystery scoop, my bead soup bin.
I think Debbie Johnson was, we're thinking we're talking to her, Debbie.
Oh, Debbie Buckley.
I think Debbie did, I think I did see her place a cart order early on. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Okay. So, we need to get into the construction of this so I can send you guys on your weekend so you can get to designing. Especially if you have some of these components already. And if not, everything should be shipping Monday or Tuesday.
Connie just did a 1-up. 57.
57, Connie? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to leave those off to the side for now, but we need to get our rivets out. And our...
Okay, Debbie's asking, where do we go to love this live?
Okay. Here. Are you watching from a computer or a phone? Right. That's a good question here, but I'm gonna actually pull this off so I can show you guys. So down here, if you move your mouse or tap the screen, there you go, a little reaction bar comes up, and you have to pick the love one. The one with the big heart. And then that will love the live. And then you will be entered into... Ooh, now you get to see 2 of me. You will be entered into the giveaway. And I need to stop calling it a little giveaway.
It is big. Yours is bigger than I did last week. Yeah.
No, because it only went up to like this live.
Yours is ginormous.
Yours was huge. Look at yours.
I know. Mine's way lighter than yours. Get the scale. Get the scale.
Put it in this one, and then we'll see. Oh yeah, yours is bigger. No, I'm funny. That's just fun.
Oh, and we're doing 2 today because last week's individual did not claim through a purchase, right?
Correct. So last week there was not a purchase by the individual that won, so we are doing 2. We gave away one not this morning, but when we first started the live, and then we're gonna do one here at the end of the live for the new one, if that makes sense. I hope. Okay. So I'm just gonna hammer some of this filigree down to make it just a tad bit more flat. So you can always bring that dap back out. You want it flat so you can get your rivets in there. I'm going to bring over my rivets. By the way, the eyelets. I think the eyelets that you guys have all been asking for have been added to the wholesale and retail site. I know for sure the retail site. So if you were looking for here, I have a couple here that I can show you. Or maybe one. If you're looking for these eyelets where you can, rivet them, but then the hole stays there, we do offer those on the shop now. And those butterfly maiden pieces and things like that should be coming soon. I have just created item numbers and titles and everything for those. And I need to get those on order and whatever else, but those will also be coming very soon, so don't worry. I know you guys are all excited for those parts, for that piece specifically. Okay. Yeah, I could not imagine having 25 children. No way. I can't even imagine having 2, let alone 25. All right. So this has a pre-existing hole here in the one side of the wing. And we need to make another hole on the other side. I, on slightly dapped pieces, always like to punch from the back to the front. And it looks like we're right in this little divot part of the wing. So I want it to be pretty in line here. Might have to use 2 hands for this one. It's a little bit of a thicker piece. Yay! You ladies got yours. That makes me so happy. Alright, so now we have 2 identical holes on either side. You take your hole, and you're going to stretch it out with your bead awl. Back to front. Just large enough for your rivet to come through. It's pretty good. Let's see if our rivet will fit through there. Perfect. We need to do the other side. Stretch it just a bit bigger. Making some noises. Alright. That should be pretty good. Let's see if we're there yet. Almost. Just a tiny bit more. Make sure you don't poke yourself. No kidding, Peggy. Sometimes I call my 4 dogs, they're like different names. Like I'll be like, come here, Nora, and I'm actually looking at Aries. Or, Remy and Bear. I'm like, come here, Remy, but it's actually Bear. like, oh my gosh, how am I already messing up your guys' names?
Well, there's only one thing worse than that.
Doing it to your kids.
Calling your kids the dog's name.
Oh, yeah.
Which is definitely something that happened a lot in our house.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So
Ginger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Georgie. No, I mean, Spencer.
Tyler. Ah,
you know who you are. Get over here.
Yeah. So both of our rivets can fit through our butterfly now. I'm going to flip that upside down, but I'm going to take one of those rivets out until we're ready to rivet that other side back on. And then I'm going to line it up, and where it's center, I'm going to see if I can get my rivets through these two holes. You can see there's a hole that fits with that, and then same on the other side. So I'm going to take my rivet, I'm going to push it through my butterfly, if I can hold it, and then I might have to stretch this other hole just a bit. So I'm going to make room and stretch my filigree a little bit on either side, so I make sure I'm not losing. Place your rivet so it goes through, but do it upside down so your nice part stays out. Push this side down just a little bit. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to take my hammer, if I can find that. Oh, you guys are so funny. I'm going to use this side of my hammer first, but you're going to want to compress the filigree and the butterfly by using your fingers to hold it down in place as you're going to hammer this rivet down so it spreads across the back of the filigree here to secure it. I bet Peggy was loving these hammering noises. That's pretty good. Alright, and then we need to do that on the other side. So it stayed pretty much in the same spot that I needed it to, so that's always nice. When that happens, I'm going to stick my rivet through, flip it upside down. Do that on the other side.
Joanne Gruber. So bad my husband calls by his ex-wives.
Oh my goodness! Maybe that is a little bit of a bad thing. If that was Ian, he would not be living to see tomorrow.
No, that would be so psychological. That would be so difficult not to have that happen.
Yeah.
Would be
I hope hard. You're joking.
That could easily happen. Okay, it happened when I had a girlfriend for a couple years. I accidentally called my wife her name one time when we were first married.
Well, it just depends on like how long you've been together and how long it was in between that relationship.
Right, that's understandable at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if it keeps happening.
But you know what? I wouldn't even.
I mean, like once maybe it's forgivable.
Ian's not even allowed
once is forgivable. Come on.
He would not have fingers anymore. Whack! With a little, like one of those big, like chopping knives. There's a stink bug on my window. I can see it, and it's crawling. I'm telling you, there's one in here every day, without a fail.
Oh yeah, there it is. I think you bring them in just to have a topic.
I think they're just attracted to me.
You bring them in just to have a topic. Here.
I know. He's gonna grab that for me while No, don't make it fly. He's grabbing it with his fingers.
There we go.
Nope, no thanks. But thanks. Thanks. Well, see, they're so potent too. Yeah, go wash your hands. Maybe use some sanitizer because that's very like strong smelling. It'll get the stink bug smell. How funny, you guys. Hammer time. Gonna make sure Ian can't move his fingers. If he says the different girl's name, he won't have knuckles anymore. So funny. Okay, so now we are secured. Nope, I didn't need to trim the rivets, Candy. These specifically are just long enough to reach through the filigree and the butterfly, and you want to leave as much of the rivet here as possible. Hold on. Because the filigree hole that you're riveting to is pretty large, right? So you need to make sure that when you're hammering, that the smushed part goes over top of that whole thing so it keeps it secured. And you can see that we like just barely got it to go over the whole thing. So you don't want to trim this rivet for this project. Rivet? Oh, I bet. Alright. Now, you can leave it like this because that is absolutely gorgeous, if you'd like, and still do your drop downs. I wanted to do a little bit more. So, yeah, don't squash stink bugs or those beetles, those Asian beetles, because those smell horrible. Don't do any of that. It's so gross. Alright, so I wanted to make a little bit of a wave. Kind of how it was originally. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to, what's the word? Maneuver my mold my metal back to kind of how it was to give it a very bold look here. And then with this top one, I'll show you the back of this other one. Here, hold on. Yeah, not a problem, Candy. So the back here, you can take chain and go directly through. You can have chain coming down for a loop if you'd like, but I just took it and I attached it on either side. But it keeps this portion, when it's laying up against something, because I have these things curled, this portion stays up, if that makes sense. It's like a buffer almost. Make sure I don't get tangled here. But I've been messing around with some chain layering here, so I thought that would be fun. Okay, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to use these pliers, these loop making pliers that we had shown earlier. I'm going to start a loop that rolls down the back of our piece. I'll take that in just a little bit more so it's more round. And I'm going to come in with my small ones to kind of finish her out. Pull it down nice. I think I'm going to squish it in right here to get it closer. So then you have your piece, and then you can see that it's not flopping around anymore. And then to make it more even, I want to bring this down just a bit more and the other side up just a little bit more. With the pliers here. So it sits on all 3 points and then the back buffer. Voila! So voila! Voila, voila! I'll bring that clover filigree back up again, cart 101. It's also phenomenal for riveting and for doing metal on metal. So don't forget, riveting metal on metal, the large circular shape wraps with stones and crystals, and then what's that one flower, that solid brass flower with the really long the stemmed flower. That's what it's called. I was going to say it has a really long stem, but it's called the stemmed flower. You can take the stem part of it and kind of, I would branch off the flowers off of these, which I think would be absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So lots of different ways to use this. I don't have a big quantity of those if you want to grab those up. I have a decent quantity of some of the feathers, but some of the tiny feathers, those are running out super fast. So I would get your hands on at least the tiny feather packs and the small feather packs. And the quill one, because the quill one is just so cool. Alright, so I'm going to bring this up to show you where my chain connections are before we show you what everything looks like on, and then we'll send you on your weekend. And then we gotta do the giveaway too, so don't forget about the giveaway. So I have chain here on each point, on each side point, to hold it up. On the buffer, I have chain connected to either side of our buffer, which then connects back up. Hold on. Let me get this untangled here, so it's a bit easier. Okay. So the buffer chain comes up along with this center chain that's hanging with this purple jewel, all attaches in the same spot. So I love that this chain can open and close because I now have 4 links on one link on either side. And then the rest of your chain goes up to you're finished. And you can even wrap the chain. How it kind of tangled up here is actually kind of really pretty with the way that it wraps. So pretty. And bring that purple thing back up there. Ew. Okay. So let's try this stuff on. Yes, Debbie Johnson. I'm going to start saying like everybody's last names with them. And then we will do the giveaway, which I'll do a little sneak peek again. Don't forget to love it, and then you get the giveaway. Super cute. Some nice beads. Some nice brass. Some nice pewter. Some solid brass. All of that goodness. All of it. Alright, we're going to take that off. Hello. Actually, probably should take hair out and hat off. It's like painful for me to take it off. No, it's not painful. I just have to gotta fringe up my hair a little bit so it's like super duper fluffy. Okay, and then I'm going to take this top view off so it's just one view here. I also fixed the let me take my charger off here. I fixed this thing. I have to look down there. I fixed this thing so it no longer like shoots up and scares me, so that's nice. I think I just needed to tighten it in a couple of spots. We'll flip it that way. Okay. Are you guys ready? It's a little bit better. we'll start off with the bracelet because it is my personal favorite.
Did you lose your bracelet tool?
I don't need it for this one.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah, because with the clasp being on the front here, it's easy because this has weighted it down so it doesn't kind of flop off to the side or anything. I'm actually just going to put you up here. That's a little bit better. So then this is that bracelet. It's kind of like an awkward view.
It looks fine. I'm looking at the other one. It looks
okay. Fine, yeah. It looks fine there.
It looks good.
So this is the bracelet. I'm trying to keep my head behind so you guys can see. And then it's got the double into the one. So the chain doubles and then goes into the one side of the clasp so you're able to clasp it. It's absolutely stunning though, even at a distance. If it does, there we go. Come down. So hard with the back and forth thing. Look at my nice hand. Look at my nice hand. But I don't have. And then could you imagine like this as a necklace even? I should probably take off my stinking hoodie too. It doesn't stink. It's just.
Oh, these stink bugs are all inside of there.
Ah! Get it off me! It is. The bracelet is definitely my favorite for today. And then I really like those feather fringe earrings a ton. Okay, I have a racing shirt on. So we can race into the weekend because I am ready for the weekend. Okay. So imagine this is a necklace. It would be super pretty. Maybe.
Who is this, Becky? Saying who is this?
Who is this? Who is this? It's not Corian. She doesn't have a hat on. I was born with a hat on. Oh, I know. How funny. You know, like, I need to wipe my eyes from crying from laughing so hard. Okay. So you have that bracelet, and then I think that's the only bracelet that we did today, though. I'm usually pretty heavy on the bracelet side of it, but oh, I was gonna say I thought there was one more. We'll do that one next. The feather bracelet. Feather. Which this one you also. It's super easy if you want to just do the connection where the loop is on the feather. If I don't have it falling down my wrist though. I like to go backwards. If it will unfocus off my face, I'm going to have to keep my face back here. So this is that feather bracelet. I'm like hiding. Don't look at my eyeballs. So cute. So you can tell that I have that red skin tone because my fingers are starting to turn pink from the blood. Super duper cute. Super duper. Oh man. Okay. Next we'll do the feather necklace. I don't know if this will be. Yes! Because I didn't put a clasp on it. I never put a clasp on it. Who's that? Are they just turning around?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, what I was saying is you can have it this way with the feather necklace. And bring it just a little bit closer here. Maybe. So this is the feather necklace. And then you can also do it. Oh, other way. Gotta pull down the other way, Corian. Like this. And then we'll see if we can get it to come up as a choker here. Even if you were to put like a little bit of a curve, I'm trying to this side up. You know what I mean? Ooh. I hate this backward stuff, but I love it like that. I think that's absolutely stunning. Come in close and comfortable. And then you could even do just one of the feathers down there. You don't have to do all three. You can just do one. Or you can do a jewel or something. So gorgeous. And I can take it off. Okay. Okie dokie. Then we have this gorgeous thing. I don't know if this will fit. Yes, it will. Oh, no clasp Corian. I'm so terrible with the clasps. Make sure that these are all facing the right way here. This part's supposed to go down, so it's not tangled anymore. There we go. So, this is the butterfly necklace. This is long. This way. This way. That's about center there. Which is super cute. Love the danglies. You can even leave off these two dangles here. And then just do the purple with the other dangles coming down. So it's more of a V shape. But I thought these kind of fit the wing shape here. And then if you bring that up, then my intention was to have the top purple stone as a choker, like a legit choker, and then the rest as a normal size necklace. I give it just a little bit of room here, if that makes sense. So purple stone meant to be up close to neck. There we go.
Yep. Debbie's a fan of the just pull it over the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. If you just make your chain just long enough, you should be able to do that. But I thought that was absolutely adorable. So you guys need to go pick up the components for those. Yes, the choker set was my intention, but I needed to make it big enough to go over my head. So I didn't need a clasp. But I'll always add like the clasps and things later. Super convenient with that CH04 chain and that CH103 chain because you can open and close those links. So you just open up the link, attach a clasp to it, close it, and then add another jump ring that's big enough to latch onto, at least that you're comfortable with. Alright. These are Green Girl earrings. Oh, they're super cute. Love them. Super fairy, super mythical, magical. Pixie forest, all of that fun jazz. Here, and then I'll kind of show you what these look like actually hanging too. Hold on here. Because I have them set up so they can hang like that on your ears. And then I'll show you the other two up close here as well. There we go. This is the gold, which you can also make a silver version of. Move my hair. Maybe I'll do it on this side. There we go. But it needs to go the opposite way. Corian. There we go. Those are super cute, super bohemian. Love them. Shiny. Gorgeous. Statement pieces. We love those. And then these, I'm just going to do the brass version of these. These are those feather dangle earrings. They are approximately 2 inches in length. Super cute, but imagine those with an ombre to really just pull against, especially if you have brown hair, maybe they blend in a little bit, but if you were to do that ombre that Lynn and Linda were talking about, so pretty, you guys. Love. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it for today.
Get your loves in. Get your video loves in.
Yeah, get your loves in while I put this bracelet back on because I just love it so much. Love it, love it, love it. I know I showed you the version of it on the beginning of the video, but I'm going to do it like this again so you guys can really see how gorgeous that really is. And imagine just doing like a third chain there in the middle with that additional hole. So pretty. All right. I'm going to bring you guys back into the zone for our giveaway. Get nice and I like to spread it out so it looks like there's a bit more.
Yeah, that is a lot. Come on, pour it. Let's see how much.
What?
No, that's
no, we have to. I'm gonna compare it because I'm pretty sure that it's.
I know you are.
Pretty identical, almost. Okay.
That says sold on that big. It's free. You should have found one that says free instead of sold. Sold for free today.
Sold, sold, sold. Ooh, look at that shine. It's like money.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. All right.
There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
So.
Look at the elephant. Yeah.
Yes. We started a new thing. Bohemian. Carrie. Yeah. Bohemian. There's like, I don't want to say more like, it's like a gypsy Indian. I don't know if gypsy is a term that we use now, but there's just like, just look up Bohemian. Just the word Bohemian.
Or boho style.
Or boho style, yeah. Yes. Then you'll be able to see that it's usually like my style that I do is always like a bohemian, nature, foresty type thing. So
that narrows it down.
Yeah, if you type in bohemian, you'll just get it. You'll get it almost immediately. So I'm gonna pull this bracelet off so I don't forget it. Give you guys time to love that video.
And remember, you have to make a purchase to qualify for the free.
Yes, you have to make a purchase.
And we'll find out that after the fact, after we do the randomizing.
Yeah, yes. Or actually, we won't even do that. We'll just wait and see if they make a purchase over the weekend,
right,
too.
And then so next...
If they don't make a purchase by next Friday...
Next Friday, we'll know.
Yes.
And we might have 2 again today. Or 2 again next Friday.
Free-spirited Hipsy Gypsies. Stephanie nailed it, I think. Yes, Carrie, Hipsy Gypsy. But I don't know if those terms are accepted anymore. Peggy, I'm back. I gotta go like this.
Hey, Peggy.
I'm back. My twin over there, without the hat.
Your evil twin.
My evil twin.
Stealing all your jewelry.
My evil twin. No, that's perfect. I think next time, if I have to take off the hat, I'll have to, do it down below the table and then pop back up like Corian's twin without the hat. How funny.
Okay, I've done a refresh here.
All right. Refreshed it.
We're on the loves.
You guys have a 1 in 32 chance. 1 in 32 chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Yes. Okay. We are going to do the random.
Do they see how this works here?
Yes. We can. We'll turn them so.
No, they got to see the screen here.
Okay.
That screen, see.
I don't know if my... There we go.
Okay, the screen, we just, point here and... Whoops.
Yes.
Corian shakes and randomizes the list here. And when I tell her to stop, it's whoever's under the finger.
But it's not you this time. That was just an example.
Yeah. Oops.
All right. So,
okay, so
we're going to turn this back around because you guys don't need to.
I'll leave it on Sawyer Lane for that.
You guys look at the thing here. But we're trustworthy, promise.
Oh, okay, we are.
Very trustworthy. So I'm going to refresh it one more time. One more time. And then now it's a 1 in 30 chance.
No, how'd that?
Because they probably switched them. That's why you like switching it up. because if you don't love it by the end of the live, you don't get it. Okay, so we're going to do our random, and then Uncle Doug's going to tell me when.
Stop.
I'm not even looking yet. Joanne Gruber! Woohoo! Our lucky winner! And I am almost positive that she has purchased already. If not, she definitely will. So this is for Joanne Gruber today.
That Sharpie.
Thank you for shopping and being such an amazing customer with us. Hopefully she's still in here. Joanne, are you still with us? I know you're still here on this earth, but are you still with us here in the live? If you are, just comment or something. And if not, I'll send you a message. So Joanne Gruber, I can actually probably tag her. Yeah. Shift at, and then Joanne ANN. Maybe I can't tag her. Oh, she's in here. Okay, she sees it. Oh, there we go.
I'm here. Yay.
That's her. If you want to say like is the winner. So you get this cute little. Look, there's even some pre-bead capped looped. That's so cute. So Joanne won today. We're going to dip these into our bin here. Yeah.
Pour it.
Well, I don't want to lose the beads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I did a few beads in there. Right, it's a line.
No, let's.
I think Debbie Buckley won the one today, or this morning.
The first.
The purchases have to be on the liveshop.com. Yeah, that's pretty dang close.
They're pretty close. You can show people the hanging bags.
Yeah, the hanging bags. So Joanne and then Debbie Buckley. And make sure you purchase, and then purchase on the live shop, and then we will be able to send you your goodies. And we even write your name on them so they don't get mixed up. At least Uncle Doug writes them in his beautiful handwriting. Awesome sauce. Well, that was super fun.
Oh, it's on the live sale, so Debbie wants to know. It has to be purchased.
I said live shop.
Okay,
yep.
Live shop, Debbie.
Live shop. Because that's where we are shipping from. But I'm going to take away this top one. Go back to this one again so we can say bye. Debbie Johnson, you can ask. I would not do the Messenger app because that's where everybody's cards show up. So if you have a question, email me at warehouse@vintage.com, and I will be able to answer your questions from there. Or if you have any questions, you can always message the Jewelry by Corian page because I will be on that all weekend. Usually, I answer your guys' questions almost immediately over on that page because I don't have my work email hooked up to anything else outside of work. I like to separate work from my other work. So if you guys...
Except for when your uncle calls.
Yes. then I have to do a little more. No. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed the live today. We enjoyed your company, like always. If you spend over $200, little trinkets that we made here and the live will be inserted into your order with the Warehouse Loves You little note and all that fun jazz. So be safe this weekend. Need to make sure that I'm on the right thing to stop this. It's up there. Awesome. Oh. I didn't mean to do that, but that's a good comment to put up anyway.
Thank you, Candy Johnson.
You're such a sweetie. All right, you guys. I'll put up Stephanie's, with Doug in there. Thanks, Corey and Doug from Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
Cindy. Peggy. You guys are amazing. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, and we'll see you next week.